Paris has always been portrayed as a city of romance, dreams, heartbreak, and reinvention. It is a city that promises transformation to those who arrive carrying hope in their hearts and uncertainty in their hands. In Emily in Paris, the city is not simply a backdrop painted with pastel buildings and Eiffel Tower views. It is a living, breathing force that reshapes identity, ambition, love, and friendship. Paris watches, Paris challenges, Paris exposes truth. And when Emily Cooper arrives in this city, she is not merely relocating for a job opportunity. She is unknowingly stepping into a journey that will test every belief she holds about success, love, loyalty, and sisterhood. Emily does not arrive in Paris with a plan to change herself. She arrives believing she already knows who she is: confident, optimistic, career-driven, and endlessly enthusiastic. Emily carries the energy of someone who believes effort alone can solve any problem. But Paris has a way of humbling certainty, and it is within this unfamiliar world that Emily meets Mindy Chen, a woman whose presence quietly becomes the emotional anchor of her entire Parisian life. From their very first interaction, the bond between Emily and Mindy feels natural, almost effortless. Two women from entirely different worlds cross paths by chance, yet immediately recognize something familiar in each other. Emily, an American navigating cultural shock and professional resistance, finds in Mindy someone who understands displacement. Mindy, a woman who has walked away from privilege and expectations, sees in Emily a sincerity that feels rare in a city built on appearances. Their connection does not need explanation, it simply exists. What makes their friendship compelling from the beginning is its lack of competition. There is no jealousy, no insecurity, no silent rivalry. In a genre that often pits women against each other, Emily in Paris chooses a different path. It allows its female leads to support one another openly, to celebrate each other's wins, and to become emotional safe spaces in a world that constantly demands resilience. Their bond feels warm, comforting, and sincere, something viewers instantly latch on to as a symbol of modern sisterhood. But stability, as Lily Collins and Ashley Park later revealed, was never meant to remain untouched. Because real sisterhood is not perfect, and real friendships are not designed to stay comfortable forever. At its core, Emily and Mindy's relationship begins as a survival bond. Emily is lost, linguistically, emotionally, professionally. She struggles to be taken seriously at work. She misreads social cues. She feels isolated in a city that often reminds her she does not belong. Mindy, though more familiar with Paris, is navigating her own form of exile. Estranged from her wealthy family after rejecting a life designed for her, Mindy lives with uncertainty, instability, and a dream that offers no guarantees. Both women are outsiders in different ways, and sometimes shared displacement becomes the strongest foundation for connection. Mindy becomes Emily's guide, not only teaching her how to navigate Parisian streets, but how to navigate emotional survival in a foreign world. She offers honesty where others offer judgment. She offers laughter where others offer indifference. Emily, in turn, becomes someone who believes in Mindy without conditions. She listens to Mindy sing not as background noise, but as proof of potential. She supports her not because she has to, but because she wants to. This mutual belief creates the emotional blueprint of their sisterhood. For a long time, this friendship feels unbreakable. It feels like the one relationship untouched by chaos. Romantic relationships come and go. Careers rise and fall. But Emily and Mindy remain constant. And that constancy becomes their strength and eventually their challenge. As seasons progress, both women begin to evolve. Emily becomes more assertive in her career. She learns how to adapt, how to negotiate power, how to survive in competitive environments. Her confidence grows alongside her ambition. Mindy, meanwhile, continues chasing a dream that demands sacrifice without immediate reward. She auditions, performs, struggles, and persists. While Emily's success becomes visible and validated, Mindy's progress remains uncertain and fragile. This imbalance does not create immediate conflict. At first, Mindy celebrates Emily's achievements wholeheartedly. She is proud. She is supportive. She stands beside Emily during moments of triumph. But over time, admiration begins to mix with exhaustion. Being endlessly supportive while feeling stagnant can quietly drain even the strongest bonds. And this is where the sisterhood begins to shift. Not because of betrayal, but because of emotional reality. Lily Collins has spoken openly about how Emily needed to face discomfort within her closest relationship. She emphasized that a friendship without conflict is unrealistic and unrelatable. Ashley Park echoed this perspective, explaining that Mindy could not remain the endlessly supportive best friend forever. At some point, Mindy needed to choose herself. She needed to assert her own identity beyond Emily's orbit. This is where Emily in Paris does something rare and meaningful. Instead of idealizing female friendship as eternal self-sacrifice, the show allows it to become complicated. It allows two women to love each other deeply while still disappointing one another. It allows frustration to coexist with loyalty. It allows silence to speak louder than words. Emily is ambitious by nature. Her career is not just a job, it is her sense of purpose. She thrives on validation, achievement, and forward momentum. Success fuels her identity. Mindy, on the other hand, is chasing a dream that exists outside traditional metrics of success. Music does not offer promotions or guarantees. It offers rejection, uncertainty, and vulnerability. While Emily's world rewards her effort, Mindy's world demands faith. This difference creates an unspoken tension. Emily does not intentionally overlook Mindy's struggles, but ambition has a way of narrowing focus. When success arrives, it often demands attention. Emily becomes absorbed in opportunities, deadlines, and professional validation. Mindy, meanwhile, begins to feel unseen, not because Emily does not care, but because care without presence feels incomplete. The challenge to their sisterhood is not explosive. There are no dramatic betrayals or irreversible conflicts. Instead, it unfolds quietly, in missed conversations, in emotional distance, in moments where Mindy questions her place in Emily's life. Is she a priority or simply a constant presence taken for granted? Emily does not immediately recognize this shift, not because she is insensitive, but because ambition often creates emotional blind spots. She assumes stability where there is silence. She assumes understanding where there is unresolved tension. This dynamic reflects real-life friendships, where misunderstandings are rarely loud but deeply felt. Ashley Park has explained that Mindy's character needed to evolve beyond being Emily's best friend. She needed flaws. She needed selfish moments. She needed to make choices that were not always convenient or agreeable. Without this evolution, Mindy would remain static, a supporting character in someone else's journey rather than the protagonist of her own. Lily Collins understood that Emily needed to confront the impact of her choices, not just in romance or career, but emotionally. Intentions do not erase consequences. Even when Emily believes she is doing her best, her actions still affect those closest to her. This realization becomes a turning point in Emily's emotional maturity. The beauty of this conflict lies in its authenticity. There is no villain. There is no winner or loser. Just two women learning that love does not always mean alignment. Their sisterhood is challenged by love interests, financial differences, career priorities, and emotional expectations. But above all, it is challenged by growth. Emily grows into someone more confident, more self-assured, and more focused on her ambitions. Mindy grows into someone who demands recognition, respect, and emotional reciprocity. When these growth paths collide, friction becomes inevitable. And yet the show does not frame this friction as failure. Instead, it presents it as evolution. True sisterhood is not about constant harmony. It is not about always agreeing or always being available. It is about choosing honesty over comfort. It is about allowing space without withdrawing love. It is about understanding that growth sometimes requires distance before reconnection. The challenge to Emily and Mindy's relationship forces both characters to redefine friendship. Is it about constant presence? Or is it about mutual respect? Is it about sacrifice, or is it about balance? These questions resonate far beyond the screen, reflecting the realities of adult friendships in a world driven by ambition and self-discovery. Lily Collins has emphasized that Emily needed to learn that being well-intentioned is not enough. Awareness matters. Presence matters. Listening matters. This lesson adds depth to Emily's character, transforming her from an endlessly optimistic outsider into someone capable of introspection and accountability. Ashley Park has highlighted that Mindy's frustration is not rooted in jealousy. It is rooted in self-worth. Mindy does not want Emily's life. She wants her own to matter. She wants to be seen not as an accessory to Emily's journey, but as a woman with dreams deserving of attention and respect. This distinction is powerful. It reframes female conflict not as competition, but as self-assertion.